Michael Jaafar, that is a tricky thing, is it not, for a defense attorney when, I mean, you're there to make sure your client gets justice, but sometimes you're sitting next to mommy dearest and you're hoping the jury gets it right.
You know, I always tell the story of, John Adams back in the 1770s when he defended those British soldiers that assassinated American, revolutionaries. And he defended them and he became a pariah in the United States. Right? He became a pariah because he was defending the most heinous people in the American colonies at that point, which is British soldiers who were subjecting them, right? And he said, if we're going to become a country eventually, I don't want to become part of a country that does not defend everybody. And he defended them. And fast forward, 30 years later, he was the second president of the United States. There's a direct line from his actions there. He set the bar, by the way, Ted. He set the bar. There's a direct line from his actions to the actions of all defense attorneys who defend monsters like Shanda, Vander. There's a direct line, right? This doesn't exist outside of the Western world, even outside of the United States, right? There are Western countries where you're guilty until proven innocent. I think what the conviction rate in Japan is 98.2%, right? Because you're guilty until proven innocent, right? And these are civilized countries, right? Industrial countries. There's a direct line between what John Adams did and what people like Fred Johnson and other defense attorneys do. They get a bad name because they're sitting next to somebody who's a monster, but they have to do it, right? They're not defending her, they're defending the system, and the system protects us all. So yeah, it's difficult. It's very, very, very hard. Even small cases that you don't see, like the petty misdemeanors. I remember when I was a criminal public defender, right? There were many cases where I wanted to get off the case, and the judge would take me aside and say, young man, I beg you, don't get off this case. I beg you, we need somebody to defend this guy. Stay right there, I bet, please. And then you'd get brownie points with these judges by defending people you don't want to defend. You're just there, right? And you're defending them. You put on a strong defense, and you feel good at the end because, hey, you know what? Hey, my client lost, but my client should have lost. And that's kind of what Fred Johnson is saying. Hey, my client lost, but she should have lost. I think the jury got it right.